Watching movies and dying inside. Watching movies and dying inside.
Hi there, gang, and welcome back to Watching Movies and Dyin Inside. Today we're going to be looking at 2016's Max Steel, directed by Stewart Hendler. I'm old enough that I remember the Max Steel cartoon and the Max Steel toy, so when this movie came out in 2016, I was like, oh hey, I remember that cartoon and that toy. True story. I remember that it's about, like, a teenager who got access to, like, a super suit, and he fought bad guys. That's kind of it. So yeah, just kind of stumbled on this movie, forgot it was a thing. It didn't do very well at the box office or with critics. Andy Garcia is in it. You know, that's a thing. So, I guess without further ado, we're going to dive on in and hope for the best.
Watching movies and dying inside.
So, if I have this right, Max Steel, I don't think that's his real name, but whatever, and his mom have moved back into his childhood home, which has sat completely untouched to the point where there was like a 17-year-old calendar hanging on the wall and, like, I guess a computer from like the late 90s. I hope they explain why they left all that stuff in that house for like 20 years, unless you're not supposed to think about it too much. Yeah, I hope they explain it.
Yes.
He's a remarkable man.
Now where do I sit?
Yeah, this just isn't a very visually interesting film. Kind of blandly shot so far, and everything's really washed out. One would hope that's because it's going to get, like, really dazzling, like, later on, once he gets, like, his superpowers or whatever. One would hope.
Well, what do I know? I drove a bike.
You know, you don't usually expect a teenager in a movie to necessarily be played by a real teenager. But these two, they really don't look like teenagers.
Oh, that's weird. And totally not my station.
I'm not really a nitpicky sort for this kind of thing. Like, I'm more than willing to give a movie time to kind of find its footing. This is not a visually interesting movie in the slightest. Like, this movie looks really, really dull.
Come on.
Maybe I'm being presumptuous here, but yeah, I think I'm dying inside. It seems like they're trying to go for that kind of slow thoughtfulness of, like, showing this guy figuring out these powers he was born with, kind of like in a Zack Snyder Man of Steel kind of way. Of course, Man of Steel started with the whole Krypton explosion, whereas this started with 20-something teenager moving into his house and then going to high school.
Hey.
You found it.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. My phone kind of broke.
That's okay.
What is this?
I was kind of wondering why these two are hanging out or into each other at all. And then I realized, oh yeah, he's really tall and good looking, and she's a girl. Sometimes for a teenage boy, it doesn't really get more complex than that.
What?
Sure, that's a pretty normal reaction to finding massive scratches and scars all over your chest.
Max. Max.
What do you want?
Put down the weapon, Max. Remain calm.
This is insane.
You had an insane amount of energy. Wait, chronometer, clock,
Energy,
timepiece. Ooh, cartography.
Wait,
map.
Steel.
What is this?
Yeah, this tracks for this film. You have a high-tech flying robot moving around, being kind of goofy and silly. And this film is still just unbelievably boring.
All right, I want to know everything that you know right now.
Okay.
Okay, well, how about the energy, the tachyon stuff? Let's start with that.
That voice does not sound like it's coming from that robot.
You're an alien? They're gonna, like, dissect you or something.
Dissect, to cut open a deceased organism for study, but Max, that doesn't make sense because I'm not deceased.
I guess it's also supposed to be funny. So that's great.
Come on.
Just no trespassing.
Seriously?
All caps, Max. Looks pretty serious to me. Max, wait.
Oh, that... If it maybe weren't delivered so slow and ploddingly, that might have been funny.
Get in.
So we're halfway through the film, and I think it's safe to say that everything about this movie is incredibly boring.
So the only person you take orders from now is me. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now go find my son.
So those guys who were shooting at Max work for his mom, who knows about all of this, but she doesn't know what's going on with her son? But she knows about Steele. And does she know about his involvement in that whole accident that killed her husband? Because I'm so confused. I will say this, I would much rather be confused by a movie than just exhaustingly bored as I have been. Confusion is like, I wouldn't say it's interest, but it's something. Also, I'm shocked at this point in the film that there's A, only like 50 minutes left, and B, that it's only been on for 70 minutes. This feels like it's been on for like 2 hours. Like a short runtime makes no difference when your movie feels like it's like 3 hours long. That suit doesn't look bad in theory. Like the basic design, if you strip it down, is fine. But it's way too over-designed. Like if you simplified it down, it'd be fine. Meanwhile, Andy Garcia's suit kind of looks like a cross between Ultron and Yellow Jacket.
Everybody get out!
I will say that is refreshing that a group of like mercenary goons actually don't let the bad guy just plow through them, slaughtering them one by one. A few of them get gruesomely murdered, and the rest are just like fall back. I think after the first guy got impaled by the giant claw, they probably should have split, but you know, they're professionals, so they're gonna wait until like at least 2 or 3 of them are you know, yeah.
You idiot. You're giving me everything I need.
You sure? Because when I have too much energy, I kind of explode.
That was an odd line, followed by an oddly extended pause. So that was Max Steel. I had a feeling it wasn't going to be very good after the first 10 minutes were just incredibly dull, like across the board. The pacing, the visuals, just how drab everything looked, how formulaic everything was. So I did look it up, and the reason why I don't remember any of the alien stuff or the Ultralinks from the Max Steel cartoon is because I guess they were from the reboot from like 2013, which also introduced Miles, who was like his father's business partner and an evil scientist, and he was from that cartoon. I guess that's kind of neat. if you're a fan of, you know, later Max Steel. So if you're going to watch a movie based on a toy line, I mean, the Barbie movie, there aren't any alien robots in it, but it's got that Ken song that everyone really likes. But yeah, that was Max Steel.